Yeah.
So, hello, everyone. Welcome to Star Studio. I am your host, Portia Monique, and we are live here, you guys, with none other than the legendary reggae DJ, iconic DJ, Shaggy Man himself. It wasn't me himself, Shaggy. Welcome to Rolling All Star Studios.
Rolling out, me them know lover, lover. Yeah. Much love, man. Much love.
I love that. I love that. You're gonna have to teach me that before we get off. So you are here today. We're celebrating a couple of things, right? So we're gonna talk about Cheetos, but you're also celebrating 20 years of your iconic song that everyone knows. We all sing it today still. When I'm blaming somebody, I say it wasn't me. Right? So let's talk about it wasn't me being 20 years and how they're going to incorporate that into a Super Bowl commercial.
Well, it's a great opportunity to be in this commercial. The song is 20 years. Time does fly fast. And it took me an amazing ride when it went to number one 20 years ago and it was released 20 years ago. And it's taken me on another amazing ride 20 years after, with a massive Super Bowl commercial. The great thing about this record, it was a song that brought so many joy to people's life. It was a fun song, very tongue in cheek, had a lot of humor to it. It was very relatable.
Yeah.
To this day, people still use, what is known as the Shaggy defense, because you could pretty much say it wasn't me and use it in any occasion. And it's just, it's a testament to us making music that is timeless music,
Yeah.
and it has resonated to this day with this very young generation that's buying into it. It's been a TikTok sensation, and it continues to resonate with them.
Can you just give us a one line there? You gotta sing it for us. Like, how can we get you on Star Studio and not have you sing it for us? Can you sing it for us right quick, and then we'll go into the snippet of Mila Kunis as well as Ashton Kutcher starring in the Cheetos commercial. Please go for it.
Oh, you give the woman access to your villa. Trust us stand a weakness, all you clean out your pillar. You better watch your back before you turn into a killer. Let's review the situation that you caught the pinner. Yeah, it wasn't me, baby.
It wasn't me. I love that. Love that. I thank you so much for that. That was super, super cool. But let's talk about Cheetos. How did you get involved in Cheetos? They gave us a snippet of two previews of the commercial. So of course, one where Ashton Kutcher was discovering that somebody was stealing his Cheetos and eating his Cheetos, and then the other one with Mila Kunis saying it wasn't me, and you made a cameo in that. How did you get involved in that? And let's talk about the process in making that short Super Bowl commercial.
Well, it was a great. The process was amazing. Just to be in the presence of Mila and Ashton, you could see why they are a couple. Uh, Chemistry, the chemistry between them, and you could tell from being with them why that 70s show was such a success. They brought that same sauce uh, to the commercial, and it worked amazing. And what was so good about the whole experience is they kept cracking at each other. I mean, it was just to watch that. I was just a student watching that and
Uh,
soaking it all. I was a sponge soaking it all up because I'm in their arena right now. And just having Cheetos come and ask to do to use the song was amazing because it's also a brand that I'm a fan of. It's in my household. Cheetos is a part of my household. And especially with this new Crunch Pop, it's the best of both worlds in one bag. So
yeah.
that's a good look.
Yeah, it's always fun to watch a couple have fun together, right? You know that they're happy when they're laughing and they can jones on each other, and they crack on each other back and forth. So, yeah, that's good to see. And then they bring it forth on camera too. So, looking forward to seeing the actual commercial drop on Super Bowl Sunday. Of course, everybody waits for the Super Bowl Sunday commercials. That's one of the things that we all look forward to. But I'm definitely looking forward to that.
Oh well, thank you. And I think you'll enjoy it. It's it's an amazingly funny piece, and I'm just very very happy for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I wanted to touch on you personally, right? So your come up, I know when I was reading your bio, it said that you started out as a New York DJ. Tell us about your journey from DJ to global pop star to what you're doing now. Tell us about that.
Well, I as a kid coming from Jamaica, New York City is a melting pot. You've got people, from you got Haitian, the Panamanians, the Puerto Ricans. It's one big melting pot, especially in Flatbush at that time. And
Hmm.
I was just a young kid fascinated with music and all styles of music. And I dove into it very very deeply. I used all my little money to buy records as a DJ at that point, and we started to do dub plates, and I couldn't afford to do dub plates, so I started to do them myself.
Mm.
And it started out really being in the lunchroom of Erasmus Hall, where I would spit rhymes because I had a knack for just spitting freestyle lyrics and stuff like that. And I was doing that, and I realized I got girls. So it really just started with girls. I was like, wow, okay. I talk about her hair and her makeup and her shoes and all that, and then I got the number, and you
Uh-huh.
know, one thing led to another. Next minute, I was cutting records, and I cut local reggae records, and I was like, oh man, I get in the club for free, and I drink for free, and I leave it out as check. This is a great life, you know. And then
Mhm.
one of those songs happened to be "Oh Carolina," and it became huge in England, and somebody gave me $1 million, and I was like, wow, okay, this is interesting, and I kept going.
Right. Yeah. But we definitely love it. And time goes by so fast, right? So when you blink, it seems like we're jumping leaps and bounds in terms of years. But if you had a chance to go back to the younger Shaggy in the New York DJ days, I'm sure it went by so fast. But if you had a chance to go back to tell your younger Shaggy some advice, what would you tell him?
Surround yourself with smart people. Very, 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 because time is of the essence. The most, like I said, the most valuable thing is time. You don't want people who are not like-minded people, who don't have the same drive as you being around you.
Yeah.
And sentiments is an amazing thing. You can be sentimentally attached to people who are not driven, who are not about excellence, and it can be a drag.
Yeah.
And you got to know when to cut them loose.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing lasts forever. There's an expiration date on friendship, on every friendship, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And the long friendship is the ones that are like-minded, that fits into your life,
Mm-hmm.
and I learned that later on in life. I would have liked to have learned that a little earlier, and I preach that to a lot of young artists coming up right now.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times you can't tell these young artists anything, and they want to be the smartest in the room. I have two young sons, and I tell them, if you the smartest in the room, you in the wrong room.
You
You
are,
need to
yeah,
go
absolutely.
around your stuff.
But a lot of things, it's the same thing with a kid. You tell a kid, okay, don't touch the stove, it's hot, and he has to touch it.
Right,
So
right, right.
sometimes that's just the way they want to learn. Everybody learns different. Some people learn from other people's mistakes, some people learn from their own mistakes.
Yeah,
It's the journey of life.
yeah, yeah. Experience is the best teacher, but if I can learn from something that I know that you went through, then
Mhm.
that's what I'm gonna do. I'm
Well,
gonna
that well,
teach.
that's I teach my kids every day to be a sponge.
Mm-hmm,
Soak it up. Listen.
mm-hmm.
Some people like to hear themselves talk. You
Yeah,
should listen more. And I like listeners.
yeah. That's some very sage advice. I like that. And I'm sure our listeners will appreciate that too. Hopefully, they take heed to that too. Be a listener, be a sponge, soak it all
Yeah,
in. Shut your face.
yeah.
How about
Well,
that?
I mean, if you keep talking, you've already acquired that knowledge. Everything in life. I never stopped being a student, so I acquire knowledge. I seek it out. I search for it.
Very valuable. Absolutely. Now I want to get into, so music has evolved over the years. Uh, it's been clean. Now it's not so clean. It's, hip hop started off as like a battle rap type of thing, and it evolved into something different, right? What do you think about today's music for, let's just say, millennial Z, like millennials and Generation Z? I call them millennial Z, but let's just say for their generation, what do you think about their music that they're putting out right now today?
Well, I try to surround myself with a lot of young people. I'm in my studio. I have very young producers and young artists and young writers, and I try to tap into it and try to keep my finger on the pulse.
Mhm.
And I sit back and remember in my days when I was doing dancehall, there were a lot of purists and people who didn't get what I was doing and didn't figure it out. It goes back. I was watching the documentary Bob Marley, who is funny enough that he is now the king of reggae, and his music is now revered as the blueprint of reggae music. But yet still, it was also a hybrid. And the documentary showed all these session musicians that he brought in to
Mhm.
create the hybrid. And back in the days, he was not celebrated as a king. They kind of have him as a sellout
Mm,
in Jamaica at the time. But
mm.
he was mile ahead in the game. He was miles ahead
Yeah.
in thoughts and the process and the evolution of music. And I like to be that person. That's the type of music. When I started doing dancehall, the type of dancehall I do, I was criticized heavily about it, and it has come. I've outlasted every one of my critics. I've won every award there is, and I'm now the go-to guy.
Yeah.
So you really have to believe in yourself and you know persevere,
Hmm.
and dream big. And a lot of these kids you see, the platform they have, which is hip hop, is a mainstream platform.
Yeah.
Back then it was not a mainstream platform, and there were a lot of great acts from Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, Slick Rick, earlier guys that really pioneered it,
Yeah.
to where it is, to where it's now. They're now making that kind of dollar figure, that the mainstream music used to make. I mean, because it's a mainstream format. So I
Mhm.
think they're doing great, because whatever they're doing, they're moving numbers that we've never seen before
Mm.
in our time. You look at
Yeah.
Drake, you look at any of these guys. These guys are breaking records
Yeah.
because hip hop didn't have that format. It didn't have that platform that it has now.
Mhm.
And I attribute that to this younger generation that's doing it.
Well, good. I know we have to wrap. I wanted to give you a chance to talk about your foundation, the Shaggy Make a Difference Foundation, and how we can find out more about it, where we can get involved with it, and then the projects that you're currently working on aside from Super Bowl.
Well, I'm doing the Shaggy Make a Different Foundation was a foundation that was organized. We kind of put it together to help a hospital, children's hospital in Jamaica. It's the only children's hospital in English speaking Caribbean. And Lady Di was supposed to, come and visit, and she died right before. So I just kind of took it up, and
Mhm.
we've raised over 2 million so far for it. We've built a cardiac ward, and we continue to support it. Things that I'm working on right now. I just did an amazing song with a friend of mine, Anthony Hamilton. Um,
Yes, we
what?
love it.
Yeah, I sent it to Anthony, and he was just, he just came back and really just nailed it. I mean, just took it to another level.
Yeah.
And he's one of my heroes and one of those guys that I really, really admire. Their voices, they sing songs. Not you don't just hear the song, you feel it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's one of those guys, and he really brought that sauce to it. And I'm looking forward to this Cheetos commercial. I think it's going to be amazing. I think it's such a great opportunity for the culture
Yeah.
and for dancehall. And I'm looking forward to watching the Super Bowl and eating some Crunch Pop.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go get me some crunch pop as well. Well, we
Hell yeah.
appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on Star Studio with your host, Portia Monique. Where can we follow your movement, Shaggy? Where can we keep up with you? And when is the new music dropping with Anthony Hamilton?
I got to figure out when I'm going to do it, because I haven't even gone to mixing yet. So it was
Okay.
something that we really just did. We just been cooking. But as far as my handles, you can hit me at The Real Shaggy, at DI Real Shaggy on Instagram, and at DI Real Shaggy on Twitter, and /Shaggy on Facebook. So holla.
Wonderful. I definitely appreciate it. If y'all need a vocalist to kind of drop some little,
Hey, I know you got the sauce. I know you got that sauce.
Listen, I became a whole pop star last year, so just let me know, and
I know, darling.
I'll be there.
Nice,
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your time. We definitely appreciate it, and we'll hang out with you on Super Bowl Sunday.
That'd be great. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Really enjoy it. All the best.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.